Hello everyone, Nicole Duelli here again with Canadians for Homeopathy, just sharing a little bit of information on some tips how to use homeopathy at home and when to see a homeopathic practitioner. Today in Ask the Homeopath, the question is, what are the top remedies for birth, or does it even help in the labor process? And I was fascinated just a while ago. I came across a rather older study, but it was just using 5 remedies to help ease labor, and it actually reduced labor time through the birthing process by 40% and also reduced the number of complications by 4, which I think is really amazing. Now, this is an older study. As I said, it needs to be replicated, but it was a double-blind, placebo-controlled study, and it was on 90 women and using the 5C potency. Now, these remedies were cauliflorum, arnica, simicifuga, pulsatilla, and gelsemium. So I'm going to talk about each of these remedies today. Even though these were used for the study in combination in a 5C potency at the very last month of pregnancy, I, as a classical homeopath, like to tailor the remedies to the person because really that's how homeopathy works. The better it fits, the better it works. Now, a lot of women do choose homeopathy during pregnancy and birth because it is exceptionally safe, it's non-toxic. Actually, in France, there was a study that showed that over 90% of pharmacists recommend homeopathy to pregnant women because it's so safe. But if you are new to homeopathy, you don't really know what you're doing, I would still go and see a homeopathic practitioner to make sure that you are using those remedies correctly. Okay, on to the remedies. So the first remedy that I'm going to talk about today is cauliflorum. Cauliflorum is blue cohosh. It is also used in the herbal world today. Along with simicifuga, which is black cohosh, also used in the herbal world. But I'm going to be talking about these homeopathic remedies, so that it's a little bit different from the herbs themselves. Now, both simicifuga and cauliflorum are often used for stalled labor or to help induce labor. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a minute, but just getting to cauliflorum and the symptoms of cauliflorum or when to use it. Cauliflorum is a great remedy when either you have Braxton Hicks contractions, those are like practice contractions that are quite painful and really uncomfortable, or you are in labor, but the labor is not really effective. So you've got the pain, but really not a lot is happening. The cervix is not dilating, you're not making progress. And the other symptoms that might show that you need cauliflorum is feelings of a little bit of mildness, weepiness, symptoms that you sometimes think of for pulsatilla, quite mild symptoms. The pains themselves kind of are all over the place. They're not very concentrated or effective. And if that's the case, cauliflorum can really help manage those pains so that they are becoming more effective. Now, Miranda Castro actually says that you can use up to 6 doses of this remedy, even if just as a blanket, if no other remedy is really indicated. But I'm going to tell you about the other remedies, just in case another remedy does seem like it is the better fit. So another one, of course, is simicifuga. That's the other one I mentioned earlier. Simicifuga is black cohosh, or it's made from black cohosh, and it is an entirely different picture. So with this one, there's no mildness here. The pains are really intense. The person is really upset with them. The mood can be very anxious, very upset, feeling like impending doom is coming. This is the feeling of simicifuga, very, very intense. Again, it can be used for really strong Braxton Hicks contractions, those practice contractions, or intense pains, but really not happening at all. Now, I mentioned Miranda Castro. I didn't show you the book. So Miranda Castro wrote this lovely book called Homeopathy for Pregnancy, Birth, and the Baby's First Year. Robin Pollock and I actually did a series of webinars on this book. It's great for the layperson or, for parents. Yeah, feel free to have a look. And if you'd like to subscribe, and then you can watch that webinar series. Now, the other book that I wanted to mention today is the Homeopathic Childbirth Manual by Betty Adarius. This one is actually more for midwives and labor support people and homeopaths as well, rather than, sort of the home user. But Betty Adarius is a midwife herself, and she recommends alternating actually between cauliflower and cimicifuga. She says to get labor started, you can take 3 doses of each, so 6 doses altogether, alternating them every 2 hours, and then stop day 2 and then repeat it again on day 3, just to kind of get labor started if you're wanting to induce labor naturally. The other, so that's talking about cimicifuga, cauliflower, and when to use those. They're great for getting labor started and also for making sure it's very effective and things are kind of happening the way they're supposed to. Another remedy to consider during labor, if you're feeling really exhausted and just not up for the task, is gelsemium. Gelsemium is such a fabulous remedy for anticipatory anxiety. It is one of those remedies where you just feel like you can't do it. It's too much, you're exhausted, you feel weak, trembly, the knees are weak. So it can either be even before even labor starts, you feel like you just can't do it, or during labor when exhaustion sets in and you feel like you're just not up for the task. Okay, another remedy is pulsatilla. Pulsatilla is such a big hormonal remedy. It's often used for women in the hormonal time. And this remedy is really indicated when you feel a lack of support as a woman. You just feel weepy and emotional, and you just need that extra support. You want somebody to hold you and look after you and just make sure everything's okay. And it can be for delayed contractions. Miranda Castro says that often women during their labor will hit a point where they feel completely out of control. And this is a great time when pulsatilla can come in. It's also for stalled labor as well. In fact, some midwives actually prefer to repeat or alternate cauliflower and pulsatilla because they're quite similar in that kind of mild, weepy kind of way, just to get help make labor pains effective. Okay, pulsatilla, the other symptoms, I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before, is they really crave fresh air. They feel better walking out in the open air, and that can kind of get labor going or get it started. So that really fits that pulsatilla symptomatology. Now, the final remedy that I want to share with you today is such a great blanket remedy for afterbirth, Arnica montana. You've heard me talk about it before. Arnica is the remedy for, sore muscles, aching, overworked muscles. It can reduce bleeding, bruising, and it's great for marathon runs. So labor is kind of like a marathon, right? So Arnica can be used during labor if exhaustion sets in, you're feeling achy and sore and and you've just been doing this too long, arnica can help give you a boost to help you continue, or it can be used after the labor right across the board for everyone, just to help the body recover from using those unused muscles, to help you recover from any kind of soreness or physical damage that's happened. And also during a C-section, arnica can be used really well. Now, about a quick note about dose and potency. Now, during labor and birth, this is such an intense time. So some books actually do recommend that you use a 200C potency. You can, but you can also use what you have. And most people, most places sell 30C potencies. So, it's fine to use the 30C potency. 30C potency, you do have to repeat. Even for mild symptoms, you're going to want to repeat about 3 times a day, and you should start to see a result within about 24 hours. If symptoms are kind of moderate, you're going to want to repeat more frequently. Like, for instance, every 15 to 30 minutes, you're going to want to repeat it. And then at the 3-4 dose mark, you're going to want to see some changes. Sometimes things change really quickly during labor. If you see those changes right away, you can stop the remedy. No need to repeat if things are going well. Now, if symptoms are really, really intense, you actually are going to want to repeat that even more often. So even every 5 to 10 minutes, if things are going really, really intense, again, for 3 or 4 doses, if that is needed. Quick reminder that to increase the potency of the remedy or the strength of the remedy, you want to repeat it more often rather than taking more pills at one time. You're not going to see as much of a difference otherwise. That's it for today. I hope you've really enjoyed the information I've presented here. Please consider subscribing to us to help support us, help support what we do here. Again, you can watch, if you become a subscriber, you can watch the webinars that we've done, Robin and I, on pregnancy, birth, and the baby's first year. And also you just support the love of homeopathy. You help us get the word out and help support our platform. It just costs $6 a month to become a regular subscriber. If that's unaffordable, donate any amount. We're happy for anything at all. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. If you have any questions, please comment below. And we'll talk about it next time.